Hello and welcome back to another video. I don't actually know what video this is going to go into or what vlog, but I just wanted to give this huge update about the baby. So today was her 1 month checkup, even though she's technically like 1 month and 4 days. This is when her appointment was. They want them to gain an ounce a day. And so if she were to have gained an ounce a day, she would be 6 pounds, 10 ounces today, as of today, because it's been 16 days since her last weigh-in, and she was 5 pounds, 10 ounces at her last weigh-in. So today she should be at least 6 pounds, 10 ounces. Well, we just got back from the doctor. She is 7 pounds, 5 ounces, which is so crazy. So the doctors are yet again blown away, very happy about her weight gain. And yeah, so she needed to be at least 7 pounds for her wrap carrier that I got and the like regular like structured carrier. So, and I've been waiting to like go to stores and like be slightly more social until I could put her in those so that I can like wear her so that no one's like, oh, can I hold her? And just so that she's like on me because we love her stroller, but in like tight stores, it's hard to like navigate with like the big stroller we have. It's hard to navigate even with a compact stroller. So anyway, I'm really excited about that. I can officially wear her and like go more places and not have to worry because she'll just be on me. That's exciting. She also was 18.1 inches the last time we were at the doctor, and now she is 19.25 inches. So crazy. I can't believe it. I'm like in shock. That's not even all. I have what is arguably the best news that I could have gotten today, which I didn't think was going to happen until she was like 3 months old. At night, we don't have to feed her every 2 to 3 hours anymore. We can wait until she wakes us up. So if we put her down to sleep and she doesn't wake up for 4 or 5 hours, I don't have to be up for 4 or 5 hours, which is so crazy to think about. And I cannot believe it. Like 2.5 hours was usually like the longest stretch I was able to get, morning or night, and that even felt like so much sleep. Like I even felt refreshed after that. But to hear like I can just keep letting her sleep until she wakes us up to eat is crazy. Anyway, we'll see how tonight goes. I don't know, but I literally can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. So during the day, they still said like once you get up for the day, like keep feeding her every 2 to 3 hours. So like she's gonna be due for a feed actually like any minute now. So that's, she's starting to stir a little bit. So I'll feed her soon. But yeah, how crazy. That being said, we still have the lactation consultation or whatever it's called tomorrow at 5 p.m. And I'm really hoping they'll give me a ton of good tips and I'll, you know, we'll be able to get her to latch better. I'm feeling very optimistic. So yeah, great baby news, great mom news. So anyway, Zach is back with my coffee. That's the update for now. I want to show you guys how I make the breakfast sandwiches that I have been making since being postpartum. It's just cheaper than going to Dunkin' or Starbucks every day for a breakfast sandwich, and it's cheaper than buying like the Jimmy Dean's ones. It's so much, like those are so expensive at the store. So I got this recipe from Finally Allison on Instagram. She came out with a cookbook and I bought it. This was like maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and I never made it. And then recently I was like, I should make that, especially for postpartum. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make it. Her recipe calls for, it makes 24, but I'm only making 12 because that's still a lot. So I'll show you guys the ingredients. So I'm having her recipe. So we need 12 English muffins, 9 eggs, 12 slices of cheese, 12 of these sausage patties, and then we need about 150 grams of cottage cheese, and then salt and pepper to taste to go in the mixture. So I'm gonna just show you guys how I do it. So I just put these in the microwave, the sausage patties, to cook them. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. What you do is we're gonna put the egg mixture, once I'm done making it, in here. So I'm going to grease this with some butter. Also preheat the oven to 350. I can't take credit for this recipe because it's not my recipe, but I'm just showing you guys how I make it. So if you want it, you gotta buy Finally Allison's cookbook, or I'm honestly like, I'm sure that they have this recipe from like an online resource or on Pinterest, but I think the difference is she blends the cottage cheese, and this is where you get like a ton of protein. So that's the other thing, is like she uses turkey bacon, but like we use pork sausage patties. if you use turkey sausage or turkey bacon, you could probably make these like lower calorie and still like high in protein. Because the whole premise of her cookbook is that everything is low calorie, high protein, and like easy to make. So a lot of the stuff like sneaks in cottage cheese, which I didn't used to like, but you can sneak it into a lot of things and you won't even notice it. Taking this and just kind of eyeballing what a quarter of the container would be. First thing I'm gonna do is blend this all up. All right, that was easy. We're gonna dump this into our pan. And don't ask me how, but these like just float on top of the liquid. I really don't understand how. Like, I guess they're less dense than the liquid, I don't know. But they float on top and it's really cool. So, these are really thin slices, so I might double up. There she is. This will puff up and like solidify, and when I know it's done is when I shake it and it's like not liquidy anymore. So, all right, I'm gonna put it in for 15 minutes. I usually find it needs more time, so I'm gonna do it at the max of 15 and then check on it later. What I'm gonna do, once they come out, I'm gonna open these, and then I cut that into 12 squares, that tray, and then I'm gonna put each square on an English muffin, and then I'm gonna put each patty on an English muffin, and then I'm going to wrap them up in parchment paper, stick them in a freezer bag, and then put them in the freezer. The English muffins are in the freezer, and so when you're ready to eat them the next day, you just plop them in the microwave for a few minutes and they're ready to go. So yeah, that's the recipe. Okay, hello, it is a few days later. Honestly, I don't really know how many days it's been since I last filmed. I think I haven't filmed since Friday is my guess. I don't know, but anyway, it is Monday now, June 3rd, so it's officially June, and I'm actually about to eat one of the English muffins. I have the monitor on and she's stirring and starting to cry, but it is Zach's turn to go pick her up when she's crying. So she's been crying and then settling down, and then crying and then settling down. So it seems like she's awake now. So he's probably gonna go get her. But anyway, she's doing that. She just did it. She's doing that thing where she's sleeping and pulls her hair. It feels so bad because sometimes like she'll have hair in her hands, like not a lot, but like a strand or two. You're ripping your hair out. Okay, Zach went in there. Pediatrician told us not to put mittens on her, but sometimes when she's like not napping because she's constantly pulling her hair, we do put a mitten on her, and then when she's fully asleep, we'll take it off. It is 1 million degrees in this room. That's a whole other separate issue. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm actually eating one of the English muffins that I made. I'm waiting for it to cool down because you put them in the microwave for like 2 minutes and they're really hot, but that's the only way to make sure they're not frozen anymore. Anyway, I did my makeup today. I did my makeup on Saturday as well when I went to visit my cousin and their newborn baby. If you hear crying, I promise Zach is in there with her. She's just not settling down. This vlog doesn't really have any structure to it. I'm just kind of filming as we're doing things, which is not often. So that's why I haven't filmed in a few days, because we went and visited family on Saturday, so I wasn't gonna film that. And then Sunday, I literally didn't do anything. Like yesterday, I literally did not leave the house. I did not go anywhere. I rotted and took care of the baby all day. Oh, so it's so hot in this room. It's so hot in our house, which has been really a struggle with the baby. Basically, we're finding out they just did a lot of like cheap fixes and band-aids instead of like doing the actual work that costs money that would be more effective. I don't know, but apparently with old windows, instead of like replacing the window, you can do this thing where you just like put in a replacement window or something like that, or I don't know, it's instead of replacing the whole window, you put in these like replacement windows or something like that. I don't really know. And the type they put in, you can't lift the window up high, which is weird. So with these windows, you can only put them up like maybe 6 inches. So when we went in to go put in our air conditioner, we got a very small air conditioner. We went to go put it in our room, it just barely fit. And then we were like, we need one for the baby's room. The baby room gets like 85 degrees. Like we really don't let her nap in there like too much because it's so hot. Like we can only do like let her nap in there or like hang out in there on a cool day. So it's been really limiting. And our room, like it gets cool, but then during the day when the sun is beating down, we have this tiny little air conditioner that like doesn't really work well. It gets to be like 80 degrees in there with the air conditioner blasting during the day. So it's been really hard. Fortunately, our downstairs gets cool enough because there's a really big air conditioner down there that's like in the wall because we don't have central air. My stepdad brought over an air conditioner for us to use, and we discovered the baby's room windows don't open basically past like, I want to say like, I don't know if 6 inches is too small, but like not enough for anything basically. The only resolution we can do is get one of those portable air conditioners that are like stand in your room, and then there's like a tube that goes into the window. I'll insert a picture here because I don't think that's very descriptive, but they're like $250 to like $500, and the cheapest one would come out to be about $300 after taxes and everything. And money is really tight for us right now, so we can't just be buying air conditioners. So we've just been sweating, and it's been really tricky during the day keeping the baby downstairs where it's cool and not up here. Anyway, that's why I'm sweating in here. And my other point was we're going to the park after she's fully awake. It sounds like he's putting her back down. We'll see how long that lasts. I don't get many moments to myself. So I wasted my moment to myself doing my makeup. Let me eat this. Zach is trying to soothe her, but at the end of the day, I think she just needs to get fed. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna get Duncan, go to a park, come back, feed her, let her sleep. Now we're gonna go food shopping. I'm gonna put her in the baby wrap so that I can go with Zach, and so that we're not having to take a whole stroller in there, and I'll get to wear her so she'll be calm and like hopefully sleepy. And then we'll come home and I'll cook dinner, and that'll be the day. Sorry she's screaming. I promise Zach is trying to console her. I have a little story to tell. It's very quick because the baby's clearly waking up, but I got a text from my boss this morning asking me, how are you, whatever, can you join an all-day system training? I'm not supposed to be back to work until early September, it's looking like. And you're telling me that you want me to join a training before I'm even asked to go back? First of all, I'm not supposed to go back to work while I'm on leave or do any work because it could mess with my benefits and it can mess with my time off. Second of all, even if I was, I'm on maternity leave. Don't ask me to do anything while on maternity leave. So all I said back was like, hi, we're doing good. She's already gained like so much weight. Like the doctors are happy with her, whatever. And then unfortunately, it would just be too much for me to try to attend trainings while having to care for a newborn. And I also think it wouldn't be possible for me to attend these trainings as it would be considered returning to work, which could mess with my benefits and my leave. And then I said, hope all is well with like you and the team. But I'm like, the audacity. And I know it wasn't him. I know it was the person above him, my boss's boss, who asked him to text me. So I'm glad that I kind of like went back at him a little bit. You can't like that. What kind of company do I work for? I'm gonna feed her. I'm gonna stop rambling. I don't know how I'm supposed to go back to work, even remotely. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Anyway. Okay, it is now like 3 hours later. We still haven't left. We changed her, fed her, and now she's just been napping. And honestly, she's almost due for a feed again. It's honestly like we're like maybe 30 minutes away from another feed. So we're gonna get in the car, we're gonna get our Duncan, and then we're going to park in the parking lot and I'm going to feed her in the car. So we're bringing the boppy because right now I don't know how to feed without a boppy. Like I can do it, it would just be like the worst latch. And when I said to my doctor, like, how do I feed her without the boppy? She was like, why can't you bring the boppy? And I was like, that's a good point, because when I'm feeding her in the car, I can just put the boppy around me in the car. And then when I go to someone's house, I can just bring the boppy with me. We're finally getting the show on the road. If there's one thing about babies, they change your whole schedule. And right now, she's just not at an age, she's a newborn. So she's not at an age where a schedule exists. Like we just, no matter how hard we try, a schedule isn't gonna work because during the day she eats every 2 to 3 hours. And it varies based on how hungry she is. Like sometimes she'll be like screaming to be fed at like 1 hour and 45 minutes since her last feed. Or she'll still be sleeping at 3 hours and 15 minutes and I have to wake her up. Like it really just depends. So our day-to-day right now is just very inconsistent, and both times we've been to the doctor and asked about a schedule, they were like, don't even think about it before 3 months essentially. So she's 5 weeks, she's gonna be 6 weeks actually in 3 days. So we have a long time to go before we can establish a schedule. I think it's time to go.
We forgot to.
Do you see there's 2 swans this time?
Addison does whatever an Addison does. Watch your step.
I am on a walk. So it was a quick walk. It was a good one. I'm sweating. I was saying to Zach, like, I'm wearing my mama shirt, but like if you didn't know I was a mom, I have both a coffee stain and a spit up stain on my shirt. So if that doesn't tell you, I don't know what will. This fan that I have on her right now, because we're still cooling the car down a little bit, is such a lifesaver. We had the net, as you saw, we had the net on her, like to keep bugs out, and we had the fan going. So when I took her out of her stroller, she was nice and cool. She wasn't hot at all. But I do think we need to get some kind of like visor or something for when we're in the sun, because that's the one thing that this car seat, not that it's lacking, but kind of, is like sunshade, and you can't put sunscreen on a baby. So when we were in the sun, we were having to like stand like awkwardly to the side of her car seat to like shade her, or not car seat, her stroller. But anyway, she slept through that whole thing. She's still sleeping, so I don't know, she's just been very sleepy today. But when we get back, I want to try to wake her up to do tummy time, because she needs to do that today. She hasn't done that yet, outside of like sleeping and like being on our chest, which I feel like we do a lot of tummy time, if that counts as tummy time, and I know it does, but I like to have like structured tummy time as well, with her actually on her mat and like being interactive. We're gonna go food shopping later too. It's like I feel like a real person going to do things today.
Wow.
So pray for me that I'm able to figure out this baby wrap as well. Okay, we are back home. We honestly, so we took a walk in the park, but we were in the car looking for a park for an hour before we got out of the car. So we arrived at one park that we thought would be good, because it was paved. It was like, there was like a walking path. It was shaded. We get there, when I tell you, it was infested with dragonflies and like hornets or wasps or something. We parked in the car, and then the whole plan was I'll feed her in the car once we're parked, and then we'll get out and walk around. She's freshly eaten and like won't be fussy. But as we're sitting there and I'm feeding her, there's swarms of dragonflies and like a couple of like wasps or whatever. I don't know the difference between a wasp and a hornet. Sitting like on our windshield and like flying around, and we were like, maybe we shouldn't walk around here, because apparently it was by like a pond or something, so it was like very buggy. And even though we had that bug net or whatever, mosquito net to put around the stroller, we were still like, this is a crazy amount of bugs, and even if I wasn't with the baby, I wouldn't want to go walking there anyway. So we were like, okay, let's find a new place. And we went to one place and there wasn't a path, and then we're like, okay, let's go to this other place. We get there, there's no path. So it took us a few tries, and then eventually we were like, let's just go to a park we've been to before that we know has a path. The whole point was we wanted it to be a little bit of a longer walk, but it had to be shaded because it was so hot today, and only half of the path we took was shaded, and it's a short walk. So on a cooler day, we would have gone around twice, but it was just way too hot to do that, and we were in direct sunlight for half the walk. So anyway, we're home now. She's gonna nap, And then after this nap, I'm gonna feed her, change her, and then we're going to go food shopping, which is exciting because I haven't been food shopping since I had her. And that's like one of our favorite activities to do as a couple. And we get to do it as a family. So hopefully she enjoys being in the wrap for like a good amount of time. When she was in it for that like 10 minutes while we were home, she slept. So I'm hoping I can get her to sleep in ShopRite as well, or at least just be like content. But I'm gonna eat something, I'm starving, and I have limited time before she wakes up again. But she's looking so chunky today. Okay, we are about to do tummy time. I'm crashing, but we haven't gone food shopping yet, so we're gonna do tummy time. I look a little bit of a mess because I'm slumped in her chair, but just waiting for Zach to get up here so we can start that. But she's being a little bit fussy, so I think she might need some tummy time because that sometimes will help her stomach because it helps with gas and stuff. So, oh, she's ripping my hair out. We unlocked a new song.
You've done so well, Addie. They gave you a new song.
Yay. So you'll have to hear me over the white noise, but we are in the car right now. Zach ran into Costco. She was screaming her head off and like losing her voice. So I was like, let me just grab this girl and put her on me and we'll sit in the car. So we're parked. Don't know if that has to be said. Parked in the car. I have her underneath this like muslin cloth. I promise. It is actually cold in this car, but I'm leaving it running just because, I don't know. I don't want anyone to like see me and the baby in the car and think like it's hot, but it's really like, it was really hot earlier, but now it's like mild. So anyway, I'm trying to get her to go to sleep. But I'm wearing my wrap. I put it, it was a hack I saw on TikTok before I had her, is put the wrap on before you get to the store so that you don't have to like do the wrap in the parking lot and have it dragging on the ground and like fumbling with it while like trying to keep your while keeping an eye on your baby in the car seat. So I put on the wrap at home, and the last time I put it on, I think I put it on too tight, and now this time I'm like, I think I might have put it on too loose. So we'll see what happens when we get to ShopRite. But Zach is currently in Costco. We've read that the diapers at Costco are pretty good and like a good steal, but the issue is I don't think they have newborn diapers. I think they only have 1 to 5. And she's very much still a newborn, but she's grown out of the Pampers. So she's actually wearing a Huggies right now, and it fits her well. So this is our first time buying diapers. We haven't had to buy diapers yet, and she's almost 6 weeks old. So that's pretty good. But I actually just heard from someone today that their friend didn't have to buy diapers for 8 months because they did a diaper raffle, and they had like a really good gift for it. So like people brought a lot of diapers. Also, I realize how annoying these clips are going to be with the sound machine literally hanging off my hand. I should have just like changed positions for it. Anyway, if you didn't hear any of that, I apologize. Hopefully.
Good luck, everybody.
Oh, let's go. I'm scared.
Report 2.2.
Okay. So it is much later now. I changed her and I fed her, and now Zach is trying to rock her to sleep, but she is fighting it. Dude, she had the best nap of her life in that carrier. I still need to get like the proper like form down, but I think I had her legs in the right position. I think I had her head and everything in the right position. She just wasn't centered. She was more off to like the right side, and I think that like the whole point is like have her more centered. But we'll get better with each try. Right now, I'm actually making spaghetti and meatballs, and it's 9:59. It's 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, it went really well. She stayed asleep the entire time. We were in ShopRite for a solid hour, and she was asleep the entire time. And I'm really happy about that. So now it feels like we tried it out, and like it wasn't a quick trip that we tried it out on. We tried it out on like a pretty intense trip to the store. You know, it wasn't like a quick 15-minute grab and go from like Target or something. So this kind of opens up a whole nother world to us. Like I said, we're still going to be careful. We're not really going to be going that many places, but when we need to, or just like need to get out of the house, now I have more confidence in that carrier. Granted, we should probably still, like we did this time it with like a nap time. I think it reminds her so much of being in the womb. She just like knocks out immediately because she's so comforted, which makes me feel bad that she's like not in the womb anymore. Mom guilt for like birthing her at this point. It's like, I can't have mom guilt about everything. She's had a rough couple of days, honestly. But thankfully in these rough couple of days, she's had a few good solid like naps during the day where we've been able to like do our own thing. I'm really worried, like I'm worried she's becoming a little colicky because, which I don't know if that's like a thing that develops over time or if they're born with it, I have no idea. But she's like, I don't know. Also, I heard of the 6-week sleep regression, so I don't know if that's what this is. I don't know. But I'm really like, I hope that this subsides because she's had a rough, like, she's kind of had a rough like 4 nights. It is the next day. We had an extremely rough bedtime last night. Basically spent 3 hours trying to get her to bed and she just like was not going to bed. Instead of her falling asleep after our feed, which she normally does, she was fussing and crying and not wanting to be put down. And then I would hold her and she would sleep for a little bit on my chest and then she would start fussing again, and then I would try to hold her a different way and she would fall asleep, but then she would start fussing again. My boobs are literally hurting me right now, so that means it's time for her to eat. I'm gonna wake her up and change her. Subscribe if you want more honest motherhood vlogging, and if you're postpartum, we will get through this together. It feels like I'm slowly climbing out of the trenches, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching.